right. Happy Wellness Wednesday, everyone. This is a special bonus session. Let me see. I think I forgot my stand. I appreciate everyone who has been flexible today with the hours being a little funky. It's okay. I'll put it right there. I usually have my little tripod, but it's okay. That works. That works there. Whoever comes into here and it's your first time, welcome in. This is a meditation that we'll be doing to help ourselves de-stress because we have a lot of stuff going on in the world right now. I specifically designed this for those who are going through some anxiety and stress from post-election stuff, but it can be for anything in life because there's just a lot that goes on. And it's good to meditate as often as you can. Hey, Dwayne, what is up? How are you? Nice to see you. Thank you again for popping in. I know that, yeah, I originally said 7 p.m. and then it's now 7:30. Yeah, I had to eat and shower and all that. I'm like, I'm a mess. I need to be less sweaty and nourished. So I appreciate your patience and whoever also wants to join us live soon. But yeah, let's see. I want to see where to start here. I did have a little story, but I think I might share that a little after the meditation tonight. Yeah, I think I just want to, like, in general, start with a little short snippet of what we do in the world, right? Our actions. Just because someone is president doesn't also mean that, that changes entirely your whole world, right? They're one person, and hey, there may be a team of people, right? There's people in the White House, there's Congress, there's all that. But at the end of the day, your immediate world is your world. So just know that you're more powerful than you realize. You really are. And I know I've said that at times for like my tarot readings and also for the meditations when we would get like the tarot cards out and stuff. But we really are more powerful than we realize. And if we want to change in the world, if we want peace and happiness in our world, which we all do. We all want to live to feel fulfilled, right? We can do that within ourselves, and we don't need any president or anyone to impact that, right? It's our world and our immediate life is under our control, and we choose what we want to do, how we want to like go about our day, and how we impact other people. So as we go about the meditation in a moment tonight, I'd like to encourage you to keep the topic in mind that, every action that we do, how we treat people, is a ripple effect on what goes out into the world, right? And it's more than just like the adults. It's really about like the kids that will be growing up in, our society. And so really allow yourself to step into the best version of you as much as you can and do what you can do going forward in your life that can impact people in ways that can inspire them, that can inspire you, and keep a flame of passion within your heart for what you're able to do and what you want to live. No president or anyone in government can change that. You're your own person. You have your power within you, right? So that's that. So we're gonna start with the breath work in a moment. Sorry, I want to get music together. I usually have that already ready. But yeah, just feel free to share how you guys are feeling right now until I get the music here. Hope you guys have been able to stay productive, but not overwhelmed, hopefully. Yeah, since today is not my usual day that I do the meditations, I think this does feel a little just off center for me. So we'll see what we can get going here. I want us to do a fast breath work and then a slow one to balance our mind. Okay, so that's what we can do. I'm gonna use the usual music that I usually use. I think for the fast one. I want to get a new one soon. Okay, so we'll use that. Let me see. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay. So, let's see. Hopefully this goes in tune with what we've been doing. So what we're going to do for our breath work right now is a faster breath work first to start. I want to see if we can use this music that we did on Monday. Our usual Mindful Monday fast breath work song. Yeah, I think it's going to work. So what we can do basically, we're going to do a rhythmic breathing. You can think of it like circular breathing. So it's going to be like this. Okay, so you see how I count it to 5? We're going to do 5 of those. 5 circular breaths. On that 5th one, you breathe all the way in as deep as you can. And then you exhale all the way out. Okay? So, it's funny. Dwayne, you said you always laugh when you hear my Philly accent. That's the funny thing. I'm like, do I have a Philly accent? I guess I do. I mean, I've lived in Philly my whole life, but I feel like some other people that also have been like Philly born say I have a different kind of accent. I don't know. My mom is Filipino, so that could have been part of it. She would say words in certain ways. So when I was growing up, maybe that could be partly why too. I don't know. I'm just a eccentric little lady, so I could have like a mixture of reasons why I talk how I do. But anyway, so our breath work, 5 circular breaths. The 5th one all the way in and out. Okay, and then basically that cycle of 5 we'll do 4 times. So it's basically a total of 20 breaths, okay? So okay. So we'll do that 4 times, those 5 breaths 4 times. I think I'm gonna have, since that one's a fast one, we're gonna do 2 rounds of it. And we'll do a breath retention too. So we're gonna hold after you breathe out that 5th breath, the very last one for that 20th breath, the 5th last breath. Then you're gonna breathe all the way in, and we'll hold on an in breath, which we don't usually do, right? So we'll hold on an in breath, sucking in all the air, filling up all the way in your chest, okay? And then we will hold that for, we'll do 1 minute and 30 seconds. I think that's the usual standard we do, right? Because it's not too long, but it's long enough that you for sure feel it. Okay, and then we'll end after that with a nice decompressing, slower breath. Okay? So, no, 7 minutes in. We're just gonna get started with that breath work, straight into the meditation. And then after that, I wanted to share a little story if people want to stick around after that, or Q&A too, because I feel like it's important. It's linked to what I was saying in the beginning too. Where's the music? I had to leave it on replay, I think. But yeah. So, and I'll recap these cards too that were from Monday. Oh no, this was from Tuesday. This was from yesterday. But I think they're pretty important for like recent events too going on. The tarot cards, I just want to recap those too at the end and see how they play into like our society going forward too, and how you can decipher it. We all have an intuitive sense. It's just up to us to use it, you know? Okay, so you guys are ready. Hopefully you have water on hand. If not, then hopefully this shouldn't be too drying for your mouth doing a fast breath work. So let me move this over. Okay, let's sit back and relax. And I'll just play the music as soon as we do the breath. I think that'll keep it simple, so don't have to do extra counting. So get in position. I'm getting my pillow together. I need a new pillow, guys. I need a new pillow. Okay. Sit back. If you're lying down, that's totally fine too. I encourage you to place your hand on your belly. One hand on your belly, one hand on your chest if you want to really feel that's going all the way in. I'll, of course, count, so you don't have to, but feel free to follow along. Okay, so together in 3, 2, 1. Round 3. Round 4. Last one. exhale. Now breathe all the way in and hold. And squeeze. Fill all the way up in your chest. We're going to hold for a minute, 30 seconds. Notice how you feel in the body. Trust that you can hold your breath in for long periods of time. Soften in the shoulders. Just allow yourself to soak into your seat, your cushion, melt into your present moment. Accepting any thoughts that may arise, but letting them go. Coming back to your body. See if you can soften even further. Ten more seconds. In 3, 2, 1, exhale. Very good. Taking in a normal breath or two in and out the nose. Very good. And now getting ready for our round 2 of that breath. Reset your breath by breathing all the way out. And then together in 3, 2, 1. Round 2. Last one. And inhale all the way. Allow yourself to hold this time for 2 minutes. Let's try 2 minutes here. And relaxing your shoulders, softening. Maybe as your eyes are closed, you bring the gaze of your eyes up in between the eyebrows, connecting to your third eye and the pineal gland in your brain, connecting to highest self, the intuitive self. Maybe bring your attention to the center of your chest. Feeling this abundant amount of air that's in there. Noticing how that feels. Softening in the shoulders and your entire body. And then in 3, 2, 1, exhale. Very good. Breathing in through your nose. down-regulating our nervous system here. Now breathing out your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. And inhaling through the nose again. Exhale, breathing through that invisible straw. And inhale. Allow the exhale to be extended as long as it can. And inhale, notice the breath, how it feels coming in the nose. Maybe envision you're cleansing your body. New fresh air coming in, new energy. And blowing out what doesn't serve you. Very good. Just 2 more. All the way in. Noticing the sound of you blowing the air out. Like you're listening to the ocean or the wind. Now when you're ready, just coming back to your natural breath, breathing in and out the nose. Notice the subtle shifts in your energy before the breath work, and then now after the breath work. Noticing the balance in the mind and body, doing an active, fast-paced breath work, and then also doing a slower breath work. Calming the mind, activating and calming benefits us in different ways. Allowing ourselves to feel balanced. Now, as we're here soaking into meditation, I invite you to, if you haven't already, have your palms on your lap. Palms can be facing down to ground you. Or you can have the palms together at the center, with the thumbs touching. Or palms can face up, with your index and thumb, your index finger and thumb making a shape, the circle shape together, as the rest of the fingers are relaxed out. Gyan Mudra. And this finger positioning, this hand positioning helps with focus and concentration and feeling empowered. And so now, as we've discussed balance with our breath work, let's allow ourselves to fall into balance even further within our mind and body. By allowing ourselves to feel at one with everything that exists here now in your present moment environment, with your eyes closed, just noticing what's around you. Noticing without judgment. Accepting what is there. Accepting what isn't here that you may not have yet or had before. But just seeing what you do have here. Seeing intuitively. Emotionally. Without opening your eyes. In your present environment right now, what can you be grateful for? Maybe ask yourself this. What can I be grateful for right here and now? What can I be grateful for right here, right now? Maybe it's a pet that wants to give you love. Maybe it's simply the clothes that you have on your body. Maybe it's the ability to live in a comfortable home. Allow yourself to go as deep as it makes sense to you. Allow yourself to be vulnerable here. And acknowledge the power of seeing what you do have. What's one thing I can be grateful for? And if more comes in, allow more to come in. What can I be grateful for here and now? What can I be grateful for here and now? And how does that thing, person, place, how does it make you feel? How does gratitude show up for you in your body? Where is it in your body? Is it a warm feeling, a fuzzy feeling? Is it in your chest? Is it in your heart? Or chest, heart? Is it in your neck, in your throat? Do you feel it in between the eyes? Where your third eye chakra would be? Is it all throughout the body? Fingertips? Where does your gratitude show up for you? And allow yourself to soak into the feeling. One more time, in case any other answers need to come through. What can I be grateful for here and now? And I invite you, as you breathe in here, to imagine that you're breathing in your own special, unique light energy, fully unique to you. What color does it show up as you breathe it in through your nose? It's glittering and sparkling within you, giving you your life force energy, just further fueling you with your own self-love, with your gratitude, with your passion, with your abundance. Maybe this color is your favorite color, maybe it's a pure white light. And it starts to spread all throughout your body. And each breath that you breathe in, You're glowing more and more with this energy. Allow yourself to emotionally connect to this visual of your energy. And if you're having a hard time visualizing, then just go with the feeling. Just go with the feeling in your body. How it feels, your breath, to give you your life force. So now at this point, your whole body should be glowing with your unique light energy. Maybe even expanding a little further past the barriers of your skin. This is your energy, even more than your passion, even more than your gratitude, but this is your aura of who you represent. This is your light that you can share with the world, with your community, with your loved ones, anyone that you come across. So in this world where there is chaos, but there's also peace and stillness, you in this present moment are embodying your highest self. You in this moment are embodying peace and stillness, making a choice to be within yourself, to give yourself this rest, this break, to sit into your highest energy. Allow yourself to feel the power of that, of your choices. Allow this light energy, a feeling, a sense of motivation, of willpower, of confidence, to glow around your heart. And maybe here you want to rub your palms together in circular motion, building up heat. This is your energy in your palms, in your hands. And then a little faster, a little more. And then separate your palms, still doing that circular motion. Feel that energy that's between the palms. And then place your palms over your heart. Feel that warmth on your heart. This is yourself giving yourself more power, confirmation of your ability to make an impact. And I invite us to take a big deep breath all the way into the heart. Sigh out any tension, any limiting beliefs that you may have about yourself. Don't be afraid to make sound. Let's do that again, all the way in. Sigh out. One more time. And sigh out. Feel free to keep your palms here on your heart. Maybe give a gentle tap. And as if you've been letting go of limiting beliefs or any self-doubt, any tension, I invite you in this moment to give a vision of what you want to see in the world. What do you want to see in the world? Feel free to give that gentle tap and massage into your heart space here. Allow yourself to feel how it feels to be free, how it feels for everyone to get along. What would that feel like to you? Would you feel like a big weight is off your shoulders? Would you feel light and safe? Happy? How would it feel to live in an ideal world where you can be free to be yourself? And where others around you, no matter how different we are, can also live freely to be themselves, truly who they are in their heart. Without anyone harming anyone at all. Allow yourself to soak in how that would feel. Allow yourself to soak in an imagination of this, a visual of this. Because once you can even bring it to mind, once you can even feel it, it is real. It comes into your present moment reality because you're putting your focus on it. So let yourself feel this. Let yourself feel free and light and loved and valued. Let your neighbor, your loved ones, your teachers, mentors, even someone that's different from you, maybe even someone who hurt you before. Let us all be healed. Allow us to envision ourselves all healed, loved, valued, confident, without harming others, and free. Free to be, free to breathe. Free to be and free to breathe. If your hands are still in your heart, feel free to keep them there. And if you want to let them down, then feel free to put them down. We're just still breathing into this space for another moment. Now I invite you to ask yourself one more question. Ask yourself, aloud or in your mind, how can I help, heal, and serve others with my unique skills, talents, and gifts? How can I help, heal, and serve others with my own unique talents, skills, or gifts? Connecting this question to the world that you want to see. What can you do that you have the ability to do right now to help heal and serve others? To create this world that you want to see. And if nothing comes to mind easily that you do currently have as a skill or talent, then think of something, allow something to come to mind that you want to do. Maybe you want to become a musician. Maybe you want to make music that moves others. Maybe you want to become a therapist. Maybe you're an artist, you want to make illustrations that show your heart. Whatever it is that calls to you, How can you use that to help others? Maybe you love sports. How can you use that to help others? Allowing yourself to get a clear vision of this in your mind. Allowing yourself to feel the power of what that would look like. What would that look like? Allow yourself to envision this into reality. What would the environment look like? You helping, healing, serving others with your own unique talents, gifts, skills. What would you be doing with this? And how would those who you've healed feel? How would they express their thanks to you? Imagine the exact scenario where you would feel fulfilled, where you would feel whole, where you would feel so happy knowing that you're making this impact. And maybe now, one more time, we can rub our palms together again. Circular motion. Go a little faster. A little faster. Super duper fast. And then separate the palms again. Place the palms over your heart once again. Feel that warmth. Feel this warmth and this love that you would be able to give to yourself, to your younger self who may have needed support. Love that you would give to a loved one. And I invite you, as you breathe out breaths here, to breathe out your impact into the universe, your vision of what you see yourself doing to help heal and serve others, as grand or as not grand as it may be. Whatever it is that calls to you, each thing that we do, everyone has a specific special role in our world. We all make an impact in our own ways. And I invite us to take a big deep breath all the way in. Sigh out as if this energy is spreading out into the world. Very good. And now as you're breathing in and out the nose, releasing your palm onto your lap, and just allowing this energy from within your heart to keep spreading out into the world. Acknowledging that even after this meditation, this energy will continue to spread out through the world with this intention that we've set through our meditation. Knowing that this practice, it's ingrained a space in your mind that can continue, especially if you allow it to. The vision you see for the world is real and true. We all can live in a place where we can feel valued, where we can feel safe, where we can feel abundant. And then when you're ready, feel free to gently wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing, with your eyes closed, your awareness still back into your room and the environment that you're in here now, which is part of the journey that you're on. Appreciating and accepting that. And then bringing your awareness back in now to the whole body, noticing how the whole body feels as you breathe in and out. Bring a little movement to your arms, legs. You can wiggle it about a bit. Bend your neck side to side. And honoring our practice today, I invite us all to place our palms to our heart. Thanking yourself for being here tonight as an act of self-care, acknowledging that every single breath you took, every single positive intention that you set, and every single bit of grace you gave yourself if your mind trailed off too. All of its progress toward better health and wellness, all of its good progress for healing of the world. It all starts with you. So bowing down to the practice. Namaste. Namaskar. Which is respect to everyone. And one love. Thank you. You may blink your eyes open when you're ready. My eyes are at that point tonight where, once again, they get oily. So I'm like, it's always the one eye first. I think the right one. But welcome back. Take your time if you need to. Whenever you're ready. And I would love to hear how you feel currently right now. Feel free to type in the comments if you were able to dive deeply and allow yourself to actually really feel, and it can be hard when we're trying to shield ourselves from things that make us upset in the world, and it can be hard to feel positive too at times. But as you guys type some stuff out, I did want to real quick recap these cards from yesterday since I had them out on my table and I think they resonate with today in a little mini story time. So just quickly, I'm gonna be as quick as I can. Doing to thank you, another amazing session. Yay! I'm glad you do. Thank you so much for always popping in, and yeah, you're giving yourself all the good stuff, all the good benefits. So if there's anyone you feel like you want to recommend to come to these lives, please feel free to let them know, because it's a way to connect together too, and it helps make it more fun for you, and for those especially who don't do it at all, right? You never know. So especially young kids, and that's going to be part of my story I'll tell soon too. So yeah, last night's cards, I'll play some music, so if you want to just vibe out a bit. I don't know if I have it's okay, we'll see what music is here. So basically last night's cards, I think, sort of line up with how things are going right now, right, in the world. So our beginning cards we had, which I think really much resonate. Oh my god, we got piano music. We're gonna get real deep. So basically, the first card was answers appear when you release the question, right? So it's detaching too much from knowing how things will happen and allowing things to flow. And then everything is unfolding as it should be, okay? And these cards went well together because the moon is like a mystery, right? And it's also representing our emotions, our dark sides, how things come out at night. That's like a phrase people say, right? So things can come out, you know, the what did they say? What's that? It's like a phrase where like light comes out from the dark, right? Or things are shown, light is shown on the dark. I don't know. Sorry, I'm like forgetting the phrase. But you know, it's like basically secrets, shadows, dark sides. Things can come out in certain times, right? But in general, I think the moon also is just representing emotions a lot. And it can be a mystery for us as people, right? And then this person who's like this astronaut, when you think of astronauts, I explained yesterday, they're like discovering things. It's like the world's an adventure to them, right? And it's obviously this goes well together because you think of like the first man on the moon was an astronaut, right? So really the world is, I really want to describe it as like a book, or we're like our own main characters in a movie, or it's like a video game, right? And so even if we don't like things that are happening right now, it's all part of the journey too. And if anything, bad things or things that make us feel negative and or uncomfortable, it progresses us even more to want there to be change, because when we're alive here, I mean, if you're at rock bottom, the only place you can go is up, because that's like you're already at rock bottom, you know. And if you're physically capable, you have your body, you're breathing, there's always like another way, right, for things to go, and you make that choice. And usually a lot of times at rock bottom, that's how you will end up making that choice, right? It's like you're either not here and alive, or you are. And then if you're here, you're going to have that choice, and you can see the different options. And so, oh, it's doing a shuffle thing here. Interesting. So, I think that's, you know, what's going on right now in the world for sure. A lot of things are coming out within the dark in a way, right? There's a lot of things that have been the past few months too, including with celebrities and things. I'm not going to go into that right now, but I think we just really do have to be this astronaut, you know, and realize that we have to walk with this stride of confidence over, even through the things that can seem a little scary. And they could be scared in there too, right? But they're still choosing to continue walking forward, right? And discover the moon that this world is. And so I think that's really important. You know, negative things definitely teach us a lot more than good things a lot of the time. At least that's how we learn as humans. It's like suffering. We're like addicted to suffering or something. It's just our innate ability to get something out of like drama in a way, right? It's just our ego self. That's our human self. For those who understand that fully. And if you don't, that's okay. But just knowing that, yeah, we can learn lessons from things that are negative, and it shows us a lot. And so, basically, I know these are 4 cards, but to do these in a nutshell, before I tell my story, we had like a lot of upside down energies. So it was like new possibilities, so I'm like going to look at them again too. We had the Knight of Cups, which was like being open and vulnerable and being empathetic, right? Following your heart and dreams was the big key to that. I put that in my tarot reading on Instagram last night. Oh yeah, those of you who are on YouTube, maybe you don't know, but I do Tarot Tuesdays on Instagram. So this is where these cards came from. But yeah, being open with your heart, sharing that with others, being inviting. I think that's what we need right now in the world, you know? Yeah, there's like a lot of tension to people, and I think, you know, with the recent thing with the election, that's what this meditation was for, right? There's a lot of stress and worry about how the world's going to be, but I think the only way to go forward is to continue to be like this knight, right? They're like charming, like you think of like a knight on a horse, right? They're choosing to be inviting and graceful still, and share their love and their heart. And I think keep following your dreams. And I know it sounds cheesy in a world where there is a lot of crazy and chaos, but you can choose to focus your energy on what's not working, or you can choose to focus on what is working, right? And what you can do, and what you that's what I was saying during the meditation, like really, like what can you do? What can you actually do? I'm pointing at whoever's gonna look at this. What can you do, like now, like, you know, tomorrow you wake up and it's gonna impact someone's life, even if it's just one simple thing. You don't have to be a Martin Luther King, you know, maybe you could be. You don't have to be some martyr. You don't have to be the next Steve Jobs and invent the iPhone, but what can you do in people's daily lives around you that can make that ripple effect a positive, you know, and influence them and inspire them, right? And this card showed a bunch of opportunities and possibilities, and it actually was upside down originally, but there could be a lot of anxiety to like all the possibilities of things that could happen. But that's where I think it comes into play once again, like just having clarity on your purpose, you know, and what you actually want. And that's why I asked those questions during our meditation, so you can get clarity on that. And you might have to ask them a bunch more times in order to really fully know. And it could change sometimes, and that's okay too. But be open with your heart. Get as much clarity as you can on like what you feel like your purpose really is. And it does not have to be grand. It could be something literally like everyday, mundane, people like to say. And sometimes those are the things people need too, you know? Complimenting someone, just helping like the elderly person down your street. It sounds like, you know, like something stereotypical, but really that's just an example, you know? It could be anything. Helping your mom if she's like a single mom doing all these things, you know, maybe you can help her, you know, or even ask for help if you need it, because you deserve it, you know? And then these two other cards. Queen of Swords here was upside down. And, you know, I think allow yourself to be right side up. Instead of being cold and closed off to people and being afraid, even if people have different views as you, allow yourself to be the Queen of Swords. I think that's the energy that our country, specifically in the US, is missing. A feminine, empathetic energy. And that's why also that came up in the Knight of Cups. Ironically, Knight's like a male energy, but I think there's that balance to that. There's a balance of like having power and having like, there's a charm to that power, right? But then also Queen of Swords too. Like she also looks powerful because she has the sword right in front of her, and she looks like she could be someone that will slice your throat or whatever. I mean, I don't know, want YouTube to like, you know, ban me. Hopefully I don't, that's saying that wasn't gonna do that, but but you know what I mean? She looks like she could be daring too. But it's like the Queen of Swords is like she's choosing to embody a gracefulness about her and having clear communication and clear boundaries, you know, being able to share her thoughts and opinions, I think, with a grace. And I think that's sort of like what's coming through, I think, for me today and going forward with all the things going on. I think we have to have a grace about ourselves, even if people have different opinions. Because like I was saying yesterday, you can't change people's mind about who they are and what they want to be. But maybe you can't make anyone do that. But maybe you can somehow influence them to, if you choose to give them the grace that you can. If, you know, you sense that they're open to that. Some people aren't ready, and that's fine too, because the world has to be made up of multiple people. We can't all be the same. And that's actually like, it's a weird beauty, even though there's ugliness to that too, right? And like things that can be harmful. But the beauty of the world is that even with the negative things, we can grow from those things. We can learn from those things. We can learn what not to be and what not to do. And the world has to be made up of all these pieces. Just like a yin and yang has night and day, right? Night and day, light and dark. Like we need all the things for everything to exist as one. So we can't realistically all be, I guess, at a certain place that could be all enlightened or all kind. You know, some people are going to be damaged and hurt, and they're just gonna, that's what they're going to let out into the world. But I think there's a way to balance that and ripple effect that, you know. And I think if you can choose to be that, then that adds more to the world, you know. Who knows, maybe there's a way we all can be angels. We'll see. If people are able to do that, you know, like I think people, they have to want to choose that. It's our highest selves all within us. It's there. But yeah, last card here was productivity and getting, once again, awareness of your situation, choosing not to be this blindfolded person who's stuck, right? So just like with this current situation in the world right now, you don't have to feel like this. Like I was saying in the beginning, like your world is immediately your world, you know, and what you do in it can ripple effect outside of it, all around, right? But basically, what I really meant overall, yeah, is that you have the power within you, and no one else can actually determine that, you know. And if you don't feel comfortable being in a certain community or space or in this country, and you want to move, then I guess that could be the move too. You know, it's all up to you. You do have the power to make the choice what's going to be best for you. Just know that you're not trapped. Like, the things that are happening with government and all these things, like, that is just one section of world and life, and they're in their own little world too, but it doesn't actually fully control you. You still have your body, you still have your mind, you still have your voice, like, you know. Just like, you know, a lot of other communities in the past generations, especially those of us in the Black community, we have ancestors who were enslaved, right? But there's people that chose not to settle into that, right? And so, you know, there's other countries too, like, not even just only us as Black people in America. There's, like, I think there's been wars and other things in other countries too, even of being like white or Asian descent or anything. Just history, all throughout history, humans have had this worry about power, you know, and like being afraid of what you don't understand, right? Just like, I have a best friend who's trans, right? Not everyone's gonna understand that, and they're gonna be scared and afraid of like that. And if you don't believe in that and you're watching this, then whatever, that's you, that's fine. But maybe explore why you're so scared of that, about that, you know. If you don't really genuinely know someone who's like that and like their whole world, you don't need to judge them for that. And I think that's just the thing. People are afraid of what they don't understand because it's something they don't know. They're just, if you don't know something, you're gonna feel a little afraid, like, what's gonna happen, you know? That's with anything, like a new job, people you meet, whatever, right? So we have to really tap into this non-fear of like the unknown, you know. We have to like see it as a journey to discover, like, this person that's going on the moon, right? They're not like, oh, let me like try to blow up the moon because I don't know what it is. They're like, let me explore that, right? So I think, yeah, how can we do that, you know, for our lives and everyone and everything going forward? And I think that's what's important following this election. Sorry, I'm gonna look at comments in a second too. I did forget about these. We had breathe, wisdom, and healing. So yeah, when in doubt, take a second to stop and breathe, just like we did tonight, right? That shows how powerful it is, taking that time to reset your mind. Just like a computer that's lagging and freezing, you restart it, right? We need to do that too for our brains. For those of you who are more curious about this, you can look at my Instagram page at Candy Wellness. I did post a tarot reading, and I put the affirmations in the in that recent post. And if you're watching this after it's live and it's like weeks later, then comment about it, and I can comment. I think I can send you pictures. I'll see what I can do, basically. But yeah, wisdom, obviously, just getting wisdom about your own self internally. And that's why we ask those sacred questions in the meditation, to really know about your inner world, who you really are inside, you know, your connection to the highest energy, the divine self. And then last, healing, right? We need healing in this world. And I don't want that to be our focus like all the time, every day, because sometimes that causes more damage than good. Sometimes you do just have to be and breathe and exist, and then the healing comes from that, from just you experiencing, right? Like this, become this angel looking up to the sky. But these all go very well together, you know. Allow yourself to breathe and relax and meditate. Breathing is so important. We need it to live and exist. We need wisdom, you know, to not be afraid of things, right? To learn about stuff and to just know how to like interact with people, you know, how to just like succeed in life, get through things. Like, having wisdom, I think we're just always going to be learning, and that's the beautiful thing. And then healing, yeah. We have the strength to overcome all our stresses. I think I'm going to read this specifically right now. It says, healing, my body is deserving of love, comfort, and rest. The angels are telling you that despite being mentally and physically drained, you have the strength to overcome this. Keep moving forward, and the universe will shower you with love and healing energy soon. So just focus on your world, you know. I just really want to read that because I know a lot of people are drained from this election too, and just from life in general, right? There's a lot that goes on. Okay, and I do want to quickly tell my little story too. So that was, what, maybe 10 minutes explaining this. As it's quickly, you know, I try my best. There's just a lot to say. There's a lot coming through for me. Because I don't think a lot of us feel like we have time to think about stuff like this, you know. I thought about stuff like this since I was 11 years old, honestly. Sitting in my room by myself. My parents did not let me go out, but I think that was for good reason for me to be who I am today, too. Dwayne said, my favorite instrument is the piano, so I'm enjoying the music. Oh, yeah, really? I gotta see if I can find another one that's, like, piano-y. That was just, like, one in this playlist. I'll see if I can find more. I'm gonna do that for, like, maybe upcoming meditations, too. You said adaptability. Yeah, we gotta adapt, you know, to the changes. The things that we don't like, we do, too. There's things to learn in that. Definitely more than the things that we do like. And that doesn't mean that the things we like have to be gone forever. We have to find a way to make that exist again. And I know with community and society and laws and things, like, we can feel restricted in a lot of ways because of, like, oh, we're not the one running the communities and stuff. But we sort of are the one running the communities. We're the ones... Actually, yeah. So I'm going to start going into my story, I guess. So we're the ones who actually are in charge, guys. That's why we're, like, you know, that's why voting is so important. And for those of you who don't believe in politics and you don't like it, I get it. I don't like politics either. I think it separates people. I think it divides us in ways where we're put in little sections and it's like tit for tat and against each other. And I think as human beings that we have such a spectrum of who we are. We should be a spectrum. We're people, you know. We have brains, we have experiences. We should have more experiences than just like one little world, right? And we should be able to want to see more than just the little world that we live in. And I think I feel like you could believe maybe something. I don't listen to everything Trump says, but I think some people, I don't think anything he says makes sense personally, but I think people, you could somehow believe in what he says, but also like something that Kamala says or what someone else says or whatever. You can like, in just your everyday life, you can pick multiple things that you can like somehow, right? It doesn't have to just be all one thing. But so I think that's why politics is damaging. It just like makes you like, oh, I have to stick to everything that this is and this. And I think it's a mess. But it's in our society, right? So that's why it's here, right? That's why we have to vote, because it's like important. And I think for a lot of us who are suffering right now in our society, a lot of us would not be voting for Trump usually, right? Some people do that I've seen around. And I think there's just confusion in that. Whatever with opinions with him is whatever. I'm not going to go too deep into my opinions on candidates. This is more about, I think we have to think about who we're voting for, and also if we do really care about the people in our community. It's not just like us, oh, me and you and whatever. It's literally even more than that. It's literally the kids too, because they're the ones who are going to be the future of our world as they're growing. And I wanted to share this story that today I started my first day as a mindfulness educator at an elementary school. It was my first time working with kids in a classroom setting. I haven't been in a classroom in such a long time. Last time I worked with the kids was babysitting, and there was just one kid, you know. So when I went to this school today, me and my friend were mindfulness educators there, and it was 7th grade, so our first class doing the mindfulness thing and teaching them meditation or trying to tell them what it is. It was hard, yeah. It was a lot of like personalities for 7th grade. Obviously, they're going through a change. They're going through puberty already, right? And then you have, oh, this is the first day, and it's right after the election day, right? And, you know, being fully honest, whoever comes into this reading, thank you, Dwayne, for the congratulations. I'll read more comments soon. But for those of you who pop in here, and you're not a person of color, that's okay. And I want everyone to be able to hear and understand what I'm saying. So basically, like with these kids, they're in this school, and it's an impoverished community. It's like people, they'll come from backgrounds. The kids will come from backgrounds where their parents are not well off. They're working like 2, 3, 4 jobs to survive, right? It's just like all these things. Our society and how it was built, it wasn't fully like, it was built off of, I can just go on about that. It was built off of like genocide and stealing of land, first of all. That's one thing. So now you want to go into the Make America Great Again thing. But basically, see how that impacts the kids. See how, like, for those who especially who don't vote, I don't want anyone to feel guilt tripped, but in general, how we can go about going forward, think about how our decisions are impacting kids. When I went into this classroom, as soon as we started talking about mindfulness and meditation, this one young boy, he just stood up, started walking around the room, and like was very upset and it was just like, what? How is like breathing and sitting here like this gonna do anything? So if someone pushes you, and you're just gonna like do this and breathe, and then you just tell that he had all this stuff like in his mind, and he was saying like, oh, like the purge is gonna happen, and to me that hurt my heart that he was saying that, you know, like him just frantically walking around the room and saying that out loud and just like being against something that can help him feel calm and really feeling like, oh, sitting and breathing is not going to help you. It does seem silly to kids, you know. It seems like it's something that could be boring. It seems like something that's just like, like what is that going to do? You know, they'd rather play video games and watch movies. But then to hear a 7-year, not a 7-year-old, sorry, he's 12 years old. He was 12 years old, he said. So to hear a 12-year-old say like, oh, like the purge is going to happen and all this, clearly in his head, whatever is at home, you know, in his environment at home and things he hears around him, what he's hearing is, I'm not safe. I'm not safe, and my whole community and the world I'm living in, I'm not going to be happy, and I'm going to be in danger, and things will just suck, right? I'm not going to be happy. Like he's just feeling like there's just going to be a whole world of like chaos, right? And so I think we really need to think about that, you know, like, are the people that we're trying to support and vote in, are they helping? Are they going to help the kids who like literally they already had a hard time living at home, you know, and maybe their parents have trauma passed down to them and all these things? Like, is that fair? You know, it's like, especially those of us who you may not want to vote. It's like it's not about us and what we think and if we hate politics. It's literally about how like people who are trying to run certain things in our society, how is that going to affect the future literally of kids who are innocent and don't have a choice, you know, and they can't even vote. And then, you know, you have a kid here talking about the freaking purge. Like, that's not cool. That's not great. That's the easiest way I can say it. That's not cool, right? So it sucks. It definitely it hurts. It hurts to hear. And I know that, like, and to me it sucks that, like, you know, okay, a lot of the kids were dismissing of even wanting to try meditation, but I can tell it's just like how they're brought up. It's how you grow up. So if a lot of what you see and around you is not positive, right? You're not going to feel excited about it. Like, you just feel like there's no hope in some kind of way. And that's sort of like the energy I got from that class, right? So I think that's why it's so important for us to, one, vote, but also in general, because it's just in our society. You know, voting is there. It's probably going to keep existing. So I think we all should vote. But then also think about who you're voting for. Like, actually, is it actually going to help kids, or is it just to selfishly serve you in some kind of way, you know? Especially those who are rich and well off. Like, if you're abundant and you have a lot of money, then good for you, and I think that's fine, and it's good that you're abundant because you deserve to be. But then what about kids that are growing up in this country? Oops, sorry guys, I paused for a second. I had to charge my phone. My phone was letting me know. But yeah, think about the kids like that are going to be growing up in this country, and like how it can be fair for everyone to feel like they can survive and succeed and feel happy. We all deserve that, you know. It's not just black people, it's not just white people, it's not just Asian people. We all deserve to feel like we can be ourselves authentically. Everyone, you know, if no one's hurting someone, whether you could hear lies about what it means to be trans and all that. One of my best friends is trans, and she's a beautiful person, and I think that everyone, if you're gay, trans, woman, man, black, white, whatever, we all should just be able to be happy and live our lives. Like, you know, why is that a bad thing? And I think people are just afraid about that. So sorry, I went a little tangent there, but the point is, really do think about your impact on what you're choosing to do in your everyday life, because it does ripple effects. Every little bit does. Even saying hello to someone can make a difference in their life. They could have been having the shittiest day, and then you complimenting them could have done so much more than you realize. And, you know, even disciplining a kid, rather than using fear to discipline them, you know, which can impact them over time. Then they put that into other people when they're as an adult. Maybe they do gun violence, maybe they do other things, right? Instead of that, like, literally, what is your best, highest self in your actions in any moment that you can do? And it doesn't mean you have to be perfect, but if you make a mistake, acknowledge it, own up to it, right? But at least see what you can do. Really actually pause. Really actually take that breath, right? Take a pause, breathe, see what you can do to actually make some kind of little ripple effect. Because I think that's what our world needs. I think a lot of us has lack of hope. And especially the millennial generation. I don't know who's in that. I'm like on the cutoff of millennial and Gen Z, but I still consider millennial my generation. And I know a lot of millennials didn't vote. I just know for a fact because they would always say that every year. I mean, okay, I guess I can't say for a fact, but I've just known people who didn't want to vote either. And I think that that's just selfish because it's more than about yourself. It really is. And if you really do want change in the world and you do care about people, I don't know, you just don't know, I guess, until you really see it. And for me, going in that classroom today with these 7th graders, like, it just sucked to see, you know, all the pain that I could tell was in them. Even if they didn't have to say it, like, I could just see them not happy, you know, in their world. And, you know, just, I don't know, it's rough for sure. Yeah, it can be rough. So that's my little story. I hope it moved you guys in some kind of way. But yeah, I think the definite key takeaway is like no one wants to hear a kid talking about the purge happening. And it's not even like a joke. Like he actually was like upset like about it. You know what I mean? Walking around the room, not wanting to be in the class. It was a whole thing. And then there were kids fighting too, and there was a girl beating up a little boy in the corner of the room. So yeah, that's another thing too. And that's why meditation is so important, right? Because if you can breathe and be mindful about your actions, right? And be a good influence for others, then maybe they won't feel like they have to beat other people up, right? So that's the thing, right? It would be great if, like, you know, some of the people in our government were more mindful and thought more about, like, their actions. So let's just be that instead ourselves. If we can't change other people outside of us, then what can we do every day and run the people around us to do that, you know, to make good change, to impact them in good ways, inspire them. Okay, so now look at comments here. Raccoon Hat. Hello, hello. Sorry, I missed your comment. Hopefully you're still here. You said, oh, that's interesting, having lots of time to think as a kid. I did. Yep. Yeah. I was a very depressed kid. And I think going through hardships as a kid can either make you a better person or make you a worse person. And I think, I don't want to go into whole family history, but I'm grateful that I was an opposite route of one of my parents. It can be hard. Yeah, for sure, processing trauma and things. So as a kid, since I was 11 years old, I had a lot of time to think because I wasn't allowed to go out to movies and with friends, go to the mall and stuff like that with them as often. Like when I was older, little by little, my parents lightened up, but even then they were like instilling fear into me. And I get it. They were afraid. They were like, oh, you can die easily stepping out of your house. But it's also like, why still instill that fear into your kid? Like, why not just let them live their life? You know what I mean? Like, because maybe the worst case scenario won't happen, you know? So I'm glad now as an adult, I can realize all this. And I have meditation and mindfulness to thank for that. But yeah, as a kid, I had a lot of time to think about how I want to be and who I want, like, you know, and impact people. And I think that was like the most beautiful part I took from my childhood too. And I hope those kids get to do that, get to have that, those kids from today. Raccoon has said, Def, cool, you can bring these topics up without anxiousness. Appreciated. Yes, because I know my truth. I know what makes sense. I'm just connected to everyone and everything as humans. That's my thing. I'm not saying I'm perfect by any means, because there's a lot of times where I can be really pissed off about people just being certain ways, you know, and I get frustrated about it. But right here now, I'm able to like be able to realize that we can all have different opinions, and we might not agree with it, and that's okay, because we're just humans and we're all always contemplating things, and we're just discovering ourselves as beings, you know. And yeah, there's nothing to be anxious about, because all you have to do is talk about it. I mean, there's a lot of reasons to be anxious, but I'm choosing not to because this is something I feel really powerful about, and it's the only way to make change. And I thought about it a lot today. Honestly, I think I talked about it to my therapist too earlier. Yeah. I appreciate you appreciating me. Thank you. I appreciate you coming in. Oh, you said congrats. Thanks again. Repeating patterns is very unfortunate. I know, because that's how I grew up. Yeah. That's the thing. Life is just a bunch of patterns. Like, if you guys think about, I can show you something in a second, actually. I don't know if you guys know about fractals at all, But everything in life actually is a pattern. What's the thing called? Literally, from the anatomical level, things are like spirals of patterns of life and energy. And energy is patterns. All of it's energy. Energy just transfers. It's never destroyed or created. It just transfers. And that is infinite. And so, even patterns within trauma, too, right? Can be transferred, obviously. So, that's the thing. And so, I don't need to show you the fractals. It's okay. You guys can look up what fractals are. Or, like, there's the golden rule, the golden ratio. Yeah, everything is patterns. But I know you're talking more about, like, trauma and such. Yeah, it's unfortunate. But that's why we can be the ones who break that. Like, I know for a fact my purpose is to shift, is to break that pattern, that generational trauma that I've had within my family. And part of it is workaholicism, feeling like the only way you're successful is working your ass off to the grind. And I've seen that cause so many problems, to be honest, and just take away so much life that could be lived. And it was a generational thing, and I think it made sense at the time, but definitely not right now. Like, things need to be more than just survival. Because if we're just surviving, then we're not really living. You're surviving, right? Dwayne said, we can be the reflection we want to see. Yeah, exactly. That's my whole theme. I think it's my theme tonight, is just be the reflection that you want to see. Be the change in the world that you want to see in the world. Yeah. Because that's the only way things do change, you know? We can't expect it. I think it's the thing. A lot of people they are really stressed about the election. That's why I wanted to hold this meditation and discussion tonight. And because it's like a lot of people are dependent on, like, oh, who we elect into office for things to change. But no, it honestly really starts with you and your internal world. And then it comes out outside of you, literally. I know we hear that a lot with manifestation and things, but it actually is, right? Like, I always give that example of, like, if you're walking down the street and you're angry and you're, someone from across the street or passing by you is going to be like, I don't want to talk to that person or even bother them. And maybe that's what you want, right? But, then you're going to be lonely in a lot of interactions, maybe, if you just go about your life like that. But if you're, like, happy and cheerful, smiling, you have a light energy, then a person will be attracted to your energy, whether you want them to say hi to you or not, right? So it really is your internal world, and it literally comes out of you emotions and thoughts-wise. And definitely in the little things we do, even electing who's in office in our immediate cities and counties, that matters in ways more than just the presidential election, because they're immediately in your city. People don't really think about that. They don't know that. And I'm not even really into politics, and I've learned about that. I could do better at it too, though. I could learn more about who's going to be in office next and stuff. I sort of just do it on a day of and hope for the best. But I think that we all could do better, and I think I took this as a learning experience too with what happened with the election too. It's just, yeah, I mean, you can't make other people do things, but you can try your best to let the people around you know, at least, like, hey, let's try to look into people that's within our city that's going to be running, like, what's their background, like, do a little bit of Google research or go on ChatGPT or something. You probably could find out information about them. We have easy resources to do a little research, and then we make that impact. But like I said, even aside from that, aside from electing people, it's your actions, your choices that you do plays a role. It's important. So imagine if all of us together collectively did that, right? We were all conscious, right? Then the world would be a very different place. And that's, I'm hoping that's the impact I can make in some kind of way. So, yeah, I know that was a lot tonight. If anyone else wants to share any other thoughts, I'm open to it. I know it's been long, and I appreciate those of you guys who also were in my fitness live stream too earlier. It's a lot to talk about, like, and now the world really is, the world may be run by politics in a lot of ways, but at the same time, it's not the only thing that's in the world too. It really is what we do every day. Boy, I'm tired now. I need to eat food. Actual food. I'm all chappy. I need to eat food. What's going on here? I'm just... You always say, imagine us all doing the electric slide at the same time, right? It would be really electric. It would be awesome, like, you know? And that's why power in numbers. I did want to also say, I guess, is an interesting little tidbit, because I was watching a video by, if any of you guys know Infinite Waters. He's a guy, he's very spiritual, deep diving dude. I think that's part of his name, Rolf Smart, diving deep on YouTube. I would be on and off watching his videos because a lot of the time he's repetitive, but I know it's to reach people with the same topics. He was talking about the election stuff, and what he was saying, he didn't mention being on any side particularly, but what he was saying was, well, you know, it's ironic. I know, you know, it's opinions. I don't think Trump is smart, actually, but I think because the things he says don't make sense, but I think he knows how to use a charisma to attract people, and I think that was the issue with, I think, Kamala. She didn't really, like, I guess, have interactions with, like, the people that were her supporters as much. At least, not that I've seen, but I guess Trump was, like, on a podcast for 3 hours or whatever talking, and he just, like, in general, I don't know, was at a McDonald's doing something or whatever. So I think he knows how to play the game in a certain way, right? So I don't think he is the greatest person, obviously. But I think that, like, he knows how to build a crowd. It's like, even if it's like negative energy, like, say a lot of racist people follow Trump, right? Which is actually a fact. A lot of racist people statistically do. But, right, if there's like strong energy positively or negatively, if someone is really consistent and passionate about it, if people are really loyal and passionate, then yeah, you know, they're gonna, that's why he won, right? Because he built a loyalty to him. And it's like, I think it's more like the fact that, like, a lot of us who are, like, going through hard times and struggles and, like, poverty and then working our asses off, there's this part of us that feels like there's, like, a lack of hope. And I feel like that's why I feel like a chunk of millennials probably didn't vote too. I think it's just been a thing throughout the generations, because it was just like, why the political parties, they're not really for us. But it's like literally the people that believe in the same things that Trump does, it's like they're so strongly passionate about it that they're so loyal. And then a lot of the people who vote are well-off older people. Or just, I don't know, it's a lot of older generation people, and I don't want to, like, you know, talk down on people. But yeah, it was part of an older system, you know? It was a part of an older system where people were really loyal to that. And so I think that's why a lot of the millennial system was really rebellious to that, and they just don't want to. And then I think that's where, like, the issue is a problem. Every election, I notice that, like, people that are very conservative, Republican, they're, like, very, like, patriotic, right? They're like, oh yeah, America, gotta vote. But I think that's the thing, like, even if we don't like what America was built off of, and we're fully aware of, like, a lot of the genocide and the things that, like, this country has been built off of, we're here now in the present moment. I think that's sort of, like, what the issue was. People weren't, like, as loyal about, like, you know what I mean? We weren't as, like, we were saying we're passionate, but then it's like when it came down to, like, this person or that person, we didn't do what it took to be able to not get the other person. You know what I mean? At least, I'm not saying we as in, like, those of us who did vote, but the ones who didn't vote. And I get where their mind and heart is at too, like, knowing that there's blood on the hands on, like, both parties, honestly. And just politics in general being corrupt. So I get where people go with that. But like I was saying earlier, right, it's more than just about us and our opinions. I think, obviously, you hear where my opinions are, but I did what I had to do because it's not about me. It's about everyone, you know, collectively. So that's just a part, but, you know, maybe people learn a lesson from this, and who knows, maybe the guy, Rolf Smart, was saying maybe, honestly, because Trump made a lot of promises, yeah. I think he honestly is a pathological liar. He said that he would do a lot of things. I don't think he actually fulfilled a lot of those the first time he was in term, but I guess we'll see this time, right? If he doesn't actually fulfill those things, which I sort of intuitively feel like he's not going to, then it's like people obviously are going to feel some type of way about that, and then they're going to wish they had Kamala or whatever. So then I think that's like a whole thing, right? So we'll see if promises shall be fulfilled or whatever. Probably certain ones you might We'll see. But yeah, it's okay. Let's just focus on our immediate world. Things are done. They were set and done, and you know, now you just focus on what you can do going forward in your day-to-day, in your current community, and even online. Like, if you're someone who posts online, what can you do that's different, that's actually going to be helpful to people? Like, it's like you can do make funny memes, but maybe make it a funny meme that helps people too, you know? I just think that that's what we all need. Like, I think we all need to really, like, not just, like, hide so much of, like, what we need to, like, feel better and heal from, you know? I think we mask a lot, and I don't know, a lot of us are open and vulnerable too, but you can never use too much of that, so yeah. He said, I think if everyone just put their own name on the ballot, that would have shaken some shit up. Yeah, for sure. It would be that would be quite messy, for sure, honestly. And I think, yeah, we just need change in the world in terms of, like, maybe just voting for more than 2 parties, but that's why I think I probably normally would have these days probably want to vote Green or a Libertarian or something like that, but that's just not the main parties here. So I don't know. Maybe that's something, you know, we can organize a group or something where we actually talk about that more and get more awareness on it. But that's a lot of work. You got to be committed to wanting to do that. You can do more impact in the world probably just doing other things other than just political parties. So that's why I say that. But there's a lot of options. There's a lot of things we can do. There's a lot of ideas, right? So yeah, I'm just, you know, but just, you know, on a slight silly, but just note. I just gotta make this comment. I'm like, out of the millions of people in this country, right? I don't know, the one person who's president right now. It's interesting. The one out of all the people in the country, but it just shows, right? He clearly has so much confidence in himself, and that's literally what gets you by. You gotta have enough confidence in yourself. You gotta, like, just have a presence about you, even if it's not good or bad, and people will. I don't know, you know. I mean, think of the Kardashians, right? Everyone says, oh, they're fake. A lot of people think they're fake or whatever. But they have a presence. They're very persistent on their presence being, I don't know, whatever. I guess they're celebrities or something, maybe, right? Sort of, kind of, not really. Just Nepo babies, I don't know. But anyway, now let me stop. I'm just throwing shade now. This is not turned from meditation to shade session. Anyway, let me stop. But yes. Yeah, know your power. Just know your power. So then the people who are in power, if you don't like them, you know, you don't have to see yourself as less than them. You have a lot of power in your immediate world that they don't see, that they don't even interact with. And that's, I think, the most beautiful thing, you know. Literally think about, like, when you finally pass away, like, what do you want to leave into the world? What mark do you want to leave? Like, is the last thing that you did, you know, if this was our last night, was the last thing you did actually something you feel proud of, you know? And hopefully doing a meditation tonight and having this discussion was good. But yeah, I can definitely say, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is definitely what I feel good about. So that's why I keep doing it, you know. So yeah, I want that for you guys too. I really do. All right, I think that is it. It's almost an hour and a half. You know, it's been a long time. I don't mind talking in general, but I'm like, I probably should get back to other stuff I gotta do. I'm always doing stuff. We'll see. I got a few things. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone who popped in here. I know there's like 2 other people. Dwayne, you know, you're mainly the person who's been talking mostly. I don't know who else, but I appreciate whoever's in here, and you know, everyone who does support what I do. It definitely means a lot. And if you appreciate what I do, please like, share, subscribe, of course. Share with anyone who could have used this meditation and talk tonight. You know, it's like watching a movie. So you might as well watch something now to be helpful, right? At least one time, you know. And yeah, if you like, if you like the stuff, like I said, I already said like, share, subscribe. Feel free to give me a tip if you appreciate the work I'm doing. If you have been to these lives a few times, no pressure, but like, I appreciate tips too. You know, the donation to the cause. I got like a new tarot deck recently, due to like one friend, Travi. He gave me a nice cash tip donation on Venmo, some monies, and then I was like, okay, let me invest into something there, you know. So I really do appreciate it. And yeah, a lot of things, graphic, t-shirt designs, things. There's a lot. I can offer wellness services, whatever anyone wants.
let me know. I got you. We'll see what we can make work. All the good stuff. But I just mostly hope this helped someone tonight. Just feel powerful about yourself, you know? Just realize what you can do and, like, you know, just there's so much. There's so much that we can do, and let's not focus on what we can't change, you know? Just feel empowered to do different now, to act. Be the best you. Okay. Much love, guys. I usually do the heart around my heart, but I'm holding the phone because I'm charging my phone. Wait, let me see. One love? Let me see. One love. Hearts. Yes, I can do it now. One love, guys. Please take care of yourselves. Peace out. Bye, yeah. Thanks.